Hey, this is Paul, and today I'm going to show you how I prune back a mature dragon fruit. Now this is over 3 years old. It's an unknown variety, and I got it from my friend Linda Nickerson at Elk Creek Dragon Fruit Farm. So we call it Unknown Elk Creek #1. Now this last winter, you can see it's had some damage here. And honestly, if I was in a rush to get fruit, I wouldn't prune a single branch here. I would just simply clean this off and try to kill it with hydrogen peroxide. But in this case, since it has so many branches, it's been neglected, I haven't pruned it for a year, I'm gonna do some pruning. So first up, make sure you clean your pruning shears really well. And this is just rubbing alcohol, clean them, sanitize them once per plant. And then I'm just gonna remove this whole branch. So this one, you can see there's still some active cactus rest. The darker it gets, the better your plant is responding to it, it's dying off. So there's some of that. This one's kind of half and half. I mean, that's on the fence if I wanted to just leave this one alone. I think I'm gonna leave that one, but I'm gonna remove some of these and get some more airflow. There we go. And then I saw that there was one that really needed some attention here. This is a really long, mature fruiting branch. You could see these two probably got it the worst. And the reason why is we had a lot of rain and cold, and this is where the sun is hitting. So we're getting a lot of the early sunlight on here, and that can damage these as they come out of dormancy. So I'm just gonna remove this whole branch very carefully. It's spiny and heavy. And then for this one, now that it's warming up, I'm actually gonna do a flesh to stem cut. I'm cutting it at a 45-degree angle. There we go. So there's some more that I'm gonna remove. Now again, if I was absolutely in the need of having as much fruit as possible, all these branches would bounce back, in my opinion, and produce some fruit. But in this case, I want to get more airflow, more sunlight to this part of the plant. You can see it's just really massive. And when at all possible, I tend to do node cuts, as you can see. Now in the case of this branch, you can see there's a little bit of damage here, but the plant's fighting it off really well. I could cut it off like that. You can see it's not very rotted. If I leave some of the nodes, we'll still produce fruit. So that's another method I like to do on some of these plants that just barely have some infection. I could also spray this with hydrogen peroxide as well. I don't have any at home at the moment, but that would tend to produce a callus quicker. So as I come around over here, you can see that this is already darkening. This one is looking not too bad. I think I will remove this just because there's so many branches here, and I want to again improve airflow and look for pests. Also, when I prune off really big branches like this, the plant responds to the wound and usually starts to kick it into some growth here. Now you can see I'm going to also just cut off a few of these branches here with flesh to stem cuts, just because there's a little bit of rust damage. I'm still going to get plenty of fruit and flowers on this canopy. Also, part of my logic of removing this is when I mow or weed whack under here, I want to have some space. So I'm kind of just giving it a trim or a haircut. Now last up, you can see here, these branches are healthy, but even early on this time of year, towards the end of March, I even will just do what kind of Danny Loftus recommended, is just tip just the tips like that, just a tiny bit, and that will respond with some growth here, as you can see. So I'll tip a few of these, just a tiny bit, see if we can get some growth response, and hopefully we'll get this to have some nice new branches here, and then in a few months have some flowers and fruit. So there you go. That's how I tend to treat these more mature dragons, giving them a haircut. There might be a few more branches I may prune here just to improve airflow, maybe something like this one. And there we go. I think this plant is ready for spring and summer. So that's what I do with some mature dragon fruit plants that are about 3 years old or more. Give us a like and a subscribe. We'll keep them coming. And you can see I have this one to prune now. Here's a Guatemalan. I'm going to do the same. Although most of these branches are fine, I would say I'm going to probably remove some of the ones that are sticking up, that are kind of up too high, because if they produce a flower or fruit here, it may break with the weight. So I'll give it a little haircut, but mainly it's just going to be these ones that are really sticking up too high. So there we go. Have yourself a wonderful day. Thanks for watching. Take care.